Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha, Rakak Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and the elders. Double honors to my elder as well, Ahar Wan, Ben Yasha Allah, the Lions Den Camp. And salutations to the fellow Akim, our Wafim and children that believe in truth and sincerity. It's your brother Athan Yalla back to another lesson. And Yahar Ratazah is edifying. And pretty much I want to go into the social constructs, all right, black versus white, all right, and the beloved brother of this camp, all right, the Lions Den Camp, Nakar, all right, did a lesson a while back, and I'll put that link to that lesson in the description box, all right, pertaining to the social construct, all right, and how black and white are set up as social constructs, all right, in the world, in the society today. All right, ultimately as a byword, for us being black, all right, as we're not, that's not what the Lord made us out to be. All right, as you can see, the definition of black, all right, of the very darkest color owning to the absence of or complete absorption of light, the opposite of white, And these two social constructs were ultimately created to hide the two main identities that's at war on the face of the earth. At war physically and spiritually. All right. But if you're fighting this battle physically, all right, you're in a losing battle, pertaining to Esau. All right. As he's been given, his blessing is the sword. All right. Our blessing is ultimately at the latter end. All right. We're coming into that blessing. All right. As long as we wait upon the Lord. All right. Pertaining to Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. All right. But, yeah, black, the social construct, ultimately, it's a byword, representing darkest color owning to the absence of a complete absorption of light. We're the true light bearers, all right, being the apple of the Lord's eye, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, and none else, all right. We're the ones kissed by the sun. We're the ones that can be enlightened, with the knowledge and the spirit of truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, all right, for righteousness' sake. All right, Esau ultimately does it on the left-hand side, all right? But one of the scriptures I want to start off with is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 37. Because our people love black, all right, the term black, and they ultimately have to stop using that term, all right, and draw away from it, all right? That's something that ultimately our people embrace, all right? A majority of our people embrace the term, the culture, all right? But it's a false culture. It's something the enemy allowed us to have here on this side, all right? Ultimately cause our people to err, to be destroyed so they can run and accuse us to the Lord. Like, look, that's what your people doing. All right, and this is the first scripture, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. And that's ultimately what we have became. We became an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword, man. A byword, more importantly, to where we've been called everything under the name of under the sun, except for a child of the living power. All right. I mentioned how this devil, he tries to accuse us, or he accuse us to the Lord. All right. And that's found in one scripture in Psalms 10. All right. And how this devil, he likes to see our people cling on to black culture. All right. They want to be black, dark, void, without light. All right. In the midst of darkness, wicked. All right. They don't want to be white. They don't want to be pure. They don't want to be cleansed. All right. And Esau, sets up a whole culture, all right, and term for it to where our people embrace it and they run up into it, all right, for Esau to do this. This is Psalms chapter 10. And I'll start at verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He's the father of lies. He always got some sinister plan to be over you. All right, he's a devil, a deceiver, right? He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doth he murder the innocent, right? His eyes are privily set against the poor, Right, because he know when you're weak, you're at your weakest point. That's when you're vulnerable, all right, physically and spiritually. And that's where, more importantly, spiritually, he tries to creep in, all right, like the serpent in the garden, you know, to put that poison, put that poison upon you, that death adder, that poison and death adder. And in Psalms 10:9, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He that he have said in his heart, God hath forgotten. He hid in his face, he would never see it. Right, that's what he says. Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, O power. Lift up thine hand, forget not the humble, right? Because, the meek and the lowly, we desire a new heaven and a new earth, which dwelleth righteousness. All right, we understand, all right, by coming back into the knowledge of in our history, all right, in the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we understand that we can be cleansed, we can be made white. All right, I believe that's in Corinthians. All right, we shall not all die, but shall be changed. All right, we seeking the new covenant, all right, the new bodies, all right, having the law in our inward parts. We seeking perfection, all right, and we're working towards that right now. All right, and this back in Psalms 10:13, wherefore doth the wicked Salakia. Basically, verse 11 is the point. He have said in his heart, Yahweh have forgotten. He hid in his face, he would never see it, he'll never see it. All right. He thinks that the Lord is never going to come down and put judgment upon the deception. All right. The confusion that he's put out throughout the four corners of the earth. He's made the earth a wilderness. Right. Just all his treacherous dealings, man, mainly towards the apple of the Lord's eye. All right. But yeah, they sit back and think that the Lord is not going to come and put judgment upon it. It's going to allow his people to continue to be destroyed by this damn devil and his social constructs and his bywords, right? And it's ultimately not what the Lord made us out to be. All right, this is the Song of Solomon, chapter 1, in verse 5. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. I believe this is Solomon speaking. All right, and that's where you get the term "I am black but beautiful." All right, you get that from Solomon. It's right here in Songs of Solomon. All right, 1 and 5. I am black but comely. All right, again that term "black." All right, meaning what? Impoverished, void. Right, but comely, man. He's beautiful, right? Why? Because he bears the promises, man. We are to be made white, and not in a physical sense, but spiritual. All right, what color is the spirit, man? Because physically, all right, to be white, is a curse. We know that, all right, through the story of what Miriam, all right, Aaron and Moses' sister, all right, and how the Lord turned her pale, all right, and scared the shit out of Moses and Aaron, all right, and we went into it, all right, but I don't want to get too much off topic, all right, but hey, what color is the spirit being the point, all right, we're the children of the day, not night, black equates to what? Darkness, all right, white equates to what? Light, all right, so this is the book of Daniel. So hey, we're black, all right, we've been impoverished, we've been put over here in the neck of our enemies, all right, up under these heathens, all right, mainly the nation of Edom, Esau, all right, until we acknowledge our offense, all right, but we've been made a byword, This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 10. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. And none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Right, the wise is going to understand. The wise is going to know. In these times, it's imperative to resort back to the truth. All right, cast off all darkness. Put away this black culture. Put away the things this damn devil has given us, man. His religion, right? Which religion goes into, I believe, the Latin religio, meaning to restrain or to held back. All right. They want to hold you back from what you need to know pertaining to your salvation. All right. And give you a false illusion, right? Black culture for you to run around and embrace when that's death, man. The scriptures say it's a way that may seemeth right to a man, but the end thereof is the way of death, roughly paraphrasing. We brought out Psalms 10 and how this devil puts out this deception and this trickery, all right, thinking the Lord is going to sit back and just continue to watch it. No, he's tallying it up on this damn devil, man. He's adding the blood upon his devil hands, man. So when he puts that judgment upon this realm, this earth, it's righteous judgment, man. It's righteous indignation, all right, for what he has done to you. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, and those who may look like the other nations but bear the same spirit as such, all right? So we're the children of the light, man. We're the children of the day. We're the ones that are to be made, are going to be purified, all right? The hopeful, all right? The remnant of our people in these times, all right? And made white, all right? This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of those things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, man, right? And that's the point. A big major point, man. Walk as children of light, man. Put on as the elect, because only the elect, the remnant of our people, is going to be saved in this time. All right. He's not saving all of Israel out of this second Egypt like he did the first. All right. If we have to wait on all Israel to come to the knowledge of and understanding of being Israelites, we'll never get out of here, man. You niggas love wickedness. You niggas love black culture. Right. So it says, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, upon the children of disobedience. And that's the heathen and 2/3 of our people that continue to disobey. The natural heathen and those that continue in the heathenistic mind state, of our people. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Right? You'll ultimately wake up and you go buck crazy on them, man. It's sweet. When you eat this roll, it's sweet, but then it becomes bitter once you digest it, man. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. You'll ultimately want to give your testimony, read this devil his rights pertaining to the scriptures, and what the Lord is coming to do. All right. Accuse him to his face. Verse 12, for it is a shame even to speak of those. Right. And you're not going to be fellowship, Salaki. You're not going to be in fellowship with darkness. It's like water and oil. It doesn't mix. All right. What does righteousness have to do with unrighteousness? What does light have to do with darkness? Nothing. You hit the switch and you turn the light on, the darkness in the room, it immediately flees. It's night and day. And this is Ephesians 5 and 13. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai Mashiach shall give thee light. Right? Wake up, rise from the dead, man. Especially in these times where you even got people in the matrix, these celebrities glitching out of the matrix, man. A beautiful lesson me and the brothers Akkad and Yahweh Sop did of the Lions Den Camp regards to with all things, get understanding, man. With everything is going on right now, get understanding, man, before it's too late, right? Because, hey, they about to, hey, it's the year of turn up, but hey, the wickedness is right in your face, all right? They don't even care anymore, all right? Showing you what this place is headed, man. What is coming, hey, what's coming into fruition pertaining to this place, man. This is hell, man, all right? Right, and then we talk about cutting on that light and the darkness flee in a room. This is verse 13. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light, right? You know, nothing is gonna trump the truth. All right, the truth is always gonna win. You know, that's why the scriptures said, "Hey, the truth shall set you free." All right, I believe that's St. John chapter 8. But say, for whatsoever doth make manifest is light, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua Hamashiach shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, right, man? We in the evil day. All right. And a more evil day is approaching. All right. This is the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, right? You know, those who are in the fold, you know what's going on. But hey, majority of our people who continue to loathe the law, they don't have a clue to what's about to happen to them, man. Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night, you know. For when they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief, right? Because what it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 9, you know, you want to measure the times diligently in itself. You know, you got to have understanding of the prophecies, you know, pretty much a good understanding of what pretty much came to pass and what's left. All right, and there's very few prophecies left to come to pass, man, and we're not going into slavery again. You know, thus saith the Lord. Verse 5, ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Man. So what does the term black has to do with us or our people? A damn thing. You know, it shows you that it was constructed socially to deprive the people of knowing the main two nations upon the earth the conspiracy and the controversy throughout the four corners of the earth is about, man. You know, the ambassador of the heathen, the top heathen being Esau, Edom, all right, and his twin brother being Jacob, man. You know, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You know, who got the promises, man, who got the kingdom, who got the world to come. You know, and this is a quick interjection just pertaining to that. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. And he saith unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Right, You know, this world is about to be done away with, you know, not in its totality, but Esau's kingdom, his rulership, right? His age. But it's back in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, right, you're drunken in the night. You're drunken in darkness. You're drunken in black culture. All right, you're sinking in it. All right. And it's a lot going on, all right, pertaining to black culture, to where you're going to get caught up in it. All right. It's a lot going on, a lot of wickedness, to where they may very well, what the scriptures say, they can very well deceive the elect, man. There's so much going on, right? But it's back in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 8. But let us who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. For Yahweh have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we shall live together with him, man, right? So whether you wake up and smell the coffee on this side and you put forth the righteousness works to be saved, or you get put to death on this side pertaining to the nation of Israel, you'll be in the kingdom, you know? But hey, why not go out fighting, man, as a warrior, you know, fighting for your laws, just the Lord laws, statutes, commandments, and, you know, your culture, your true heritage, you know, not black culture. You know, our people want to die in that. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6. And my phone going dead. In verse 14. But if I make a part 2, I just got to make a part 2. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, man, right? You know, we don't have nothing to do with black culture. That's why it's a flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver everyone. You know, it's time to flee this place spiritually. I believe that's Jeremiah 51:6. You know. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? And what concord have Yahweh Shai Mashiach with Baal? Or what part have he that believeth with an infidel, man? Hey, the Lord don't have nothing to do with wickedness, man. You know, we're the children of light. All right. We're not to be unequally yoked with black culture. All right. Blackness. You know, it's time to start putting forth the works of righteousness, man, to save ourselves, to save our hope to save ourselves and our families, man. You know, our souls. All right. Because this is it, man. This is an end. All right. This is a wicked ass society and a wicked ass kingdom, man. It has to be done away with. All right. For Jake to have anything, any type of substance, man. You know, you listen to these celebrities and it's like, what the hell, how do they not wrap their head around, you're not going to make it here, man. This is not your rest, all right? You're not going to establish nothing here with this damn devil being established with you, all right? You guys will be completely out of the way, man. There's no partnership with this damn devil. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12 and verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have and give alms. Right. You think Kanye, that he already went from a billionaire to a millionaire. All right. Now you just, hey, you know. I mean, when I first joined the camp years ago, he did something else. And it was like, shit, what he go do? He's gonna come out of his pedestal, you know, lose his riches. His brothers out here that need financial help. You know, he can put forth that financial help. You know, here at this latter end, his wealth can spread abundantly. You know, through the true men of the Lord, through righteousness. But that's not how things are set up, man. You know, but here in Luke 12 and 33, it says, what? Sell that ye have, man. That's why the scriptures say, what? Hardly a rich man enter into the kingdom, like a camel going through the eye of a needle. You know, to go through that needle gate, you have to take all that luggage off the side of that camel for that big ass camel to go through. You know, that narrow way. You know, and this is a narrow way. You know. But it's Luke 12 and 33. Sell that ye have and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old. Right. You know, store your riches up in heaven, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approaches, neither moth corrupteth. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Right. And a lot of their treasure is in the worlds, man. In the world. That's why it says what? The root, money is the root of all evil. You know, it's not the money itself that's evil, but it's the root behind it. It ties you to this devil. You know, who faces is on the money? These devils. You ain't your people face on it. All right. So that will ultimately draws you. Hey, that's the leverage that this devil got against you. You know, the money, the fiat currency, the promissory notes, the monopoly, the Verse 35, let your loins be girded about and lights burning, and ye yourselves like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them, man. Right, you want to sit at the table, man. You want to sit at the table ultimately, man. Why die in black culture? Why die in wickedness and darkness on this side, man, when there's nothing but light and truth being presented to you, man? This is Ecclesiastes, crazy. 3:11. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God, all right, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, maketh from the beginning to the end. You know, so he gave you that spirit of discern, of illusion, all right, of where you can't discern. You know, you lack spiritual discernment. You know, and that lines up with what the prayer of King David, Romans 11:7. You know, the Lord is bowing down your back. Why? Because majority of our people, all right, are the people we had to march around Jericho for. You know, they wanted to go back into Egypt at the, you know, and melted and made a golden calf. You know, they love slavery. They love black culture. They love wickedness. They love darkness. You know, they hate reproof. They hate the Lord. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21. And I'll start at verse 16. The man that walketh the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You know, and we fell away as a whole, as a people. All right, it's imperative to resort back to the knowledge and truth of the Lord, to your culture, to your heritage. Because when you wander out of the way of understanding, you remain in the congregation of the dead, man. The majority of our people are spiritually dead. All right. I believe that's in Revelations, how the scriptures refer to how this devil don't suffer to put their body in graves, man. You know, they don't want to give them the truth. You know, and that's what you got going on now with these celebrities coming out speaking truth. You know, that's the secret. You know, that's what they swore on to make a dollar here in this society. You know, but when they can't spend that dollar and do what they want to do with that dollar, they get mad, you know, and they buck up on Esau, you know, but they ultimately took oaths, right? They took oaths, you know, did all type of things to get that dollar. All right. That's why it's a root of all evil, you know, and we didn't even bring that out. But, you know, hey, those who are not spiritual know that's in the scriptures, right? But this Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. Right, because it's better for you than to be in the house of mourning than to be in the house of mirth. All right, because what you in the house of mirth now, you're going to cry later. All right, you go laugh now, but you go cry later. Verse 17, he that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous, and the transgressor for the upright. You know, and that's just the point. You know, the wicked is going to be a ransom, man. You know, so the hell with black culture. You know, that's not for us. That's not for our people. All right. Ultimately, our people might have created it, but that's the only thing that Esau has allowed to prosper. All right. Because he knows that makes you, hey, that puts death upon you. That puts a dark, gloomy cloud from the Lord upon you, being the apple of the Lord's eye. This is the book of 1 John chapter 1. And verse 7. Hold on, I gotta read up. This verse, I started verse 3. This is the book of 1 John 1 and 3. That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you. I started verse 1 to lock you. This 1 John 1 and 1. That which was from the beginning, which we have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and our hands have handled of the word of life. For the life was manifested, and we have seen it, and bear witness, and show unto you that eternal life which was with the Father and was manifested unto us. Right, pertaining to what John 17. All right, that chain of command from the Father to Yahweh Shai to his chosen, man. You know, to his friends. All right. Verse 3, that which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us. And truly our fellowship is with the Father, Yahweh, and with his Son, Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Right. You know, you rest with us, you rest with them. You know, because we coming in his name, we coming in his truth. You know, more importantly, his name. You know, we being distinctive and precise of the God that we serve. Right. Verse 4, and these things write we unto you, that your joy may be full. This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that God is light. Right. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is light. And in him is no darkness at all, man. Right. So black culture has nothing, is not for us. All right. You know, they say what a gift destroyeth the heart. You know, they gave us black culture, and they allowed this, from the hip hop and the rap music, and, you know, Esau infiltrating that. All right. With his paperwork and his executives and his companies. All right. So I was watching this short documentary. This is a side note. And it was talking about like Warner Bros. Music Group, one of the top 4 like record labels that sign people, along with Sony, the Interscopes and stuff like that. But Warner, it goes back to like Time Warner, like the cable companies, communication companies, man. It was go back to these fake Jews, which it tied to the CIA, man. Which it was like, dog. Man, this COINTELPRO. All right, at its finest that we in, and we're witnessing pertaining to black culture, and our people is embracing it, and they go get caught up in it. The more and more shit show and the more and more wickedness come out of the black culture. All right, they will get lost in the sauce, man. And the Lord is ultimately drawing a line, and he's sifting the house of Israel, man. You know, but this again, 1 John 1. And I get to the point. In verse 6, if we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not the truth. Right. So if you a celebrity, Salakia. But if you're a celebrity, because I believe I read 1 John 1 and and 6, if we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, right? Point, well, one of many points. All right, you can't serve 2 masters, man. So you can't say, you know, we're the true people of the Lord. Yeah, you can say it, but now what? You know, being these celebrities, yeah, we the true people of the Lord, we the true Jews, but they still in the matrix. They still wear the all-seeing eye and shit like that, you know? Like, I would go back in Kyrie Irving, like, on all his shoes, I couldn't, like, the sneakers and shit for the kids and shit, they had, like, all-seeing eyes and shit on them. But this is the book of 1 John chapter 1 and verse 7. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship one with another. And the blood of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, his son, cleanses us from all sin. Right. You know, we'll be cleansed from all sin. You know, as long as we walk in the light. You know, we walk in truth. All right. And we ultimately worship him in spirit and in truth. All right. And with sincerity. All right. Hey, the Lord will continue to light our path, you know. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. And that's all black culture bring. Jealousy, strife, envying, you know. Let's see chambering and wantonness. Let's look up some words. We know what drunkenness. You want to be sober spiritually. Chambering, adultery, you know. A bed, couch, right? You in bed with the devil. You know, you resting with this devil, man, and this is not your rest, pertaining to Micah 2 and 10. You know, fuck black culture, man. You know, want to be an inspiring rapper. You know, that's the new term for NIGGA. You know, aspiring ninja. This Colossians 3 and 12. Or anything pertaining to wickedness in this society, even being a athlete, man. This place is through. All right, being a part of the Coliseum, man. Look at LeBron James. I gotta do a video on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, because back in the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was one of those political activist type guys. All right, but now he's a straight butt breaking. He's a coon. Forgot totally what they all right. This is somebody who lived in them times, man. You know, and oh man, a lion's whelp. This is Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of Yahweh, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahweh Shai gave you, so also do ye. Right. You know, but 2/3 of our people not gonna put on as the elect. You know, they don't want to be separate. You know, beloved. You know, they don't want to be filled with kindness. You know, they don't want mercy. They damn sure ain't humble. They full of pride, man. They proud and poor. You know, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. That they don't do. You know, they embrace black culture so much that they'll throw their own people under the bus, you know, to continue on with Esau, with the enemy, with the heathen. This Psalms 7 and 11. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai judges the righteous, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. Right. You know. So hey, if you don't turn and repent, you know, the Lord's gonna judge you. You know. Say whoever, because hey, ultimately whoever despises truth and don't think it's for their benefit, you know, they ultimately gonna die. You know. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, man, right? You know, you're not going to be kissed by the sun. You know, you clinged on to black culture so much, the Lord is going to destroy you. You know, he's going to allow you to continue to dwell in it. All right, you're going to continue to be in a congregation of the dead. All right. Verse 11, and for this cause, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness, right? You know, because you have pleasure in unrighteousness, you know? Lord, go leave there and melt you. This 13, but we are bound to give thanks always to Yahweh for you, brethren beloved of the Lord, because Yahweh have from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the spirit and belief of the truth, man, right? You know, sanctified because you believe, you know, ultimately you have faith, all right? And hey, ultimately your name is written in the book of life. You know, the Lord deal with you, all right, as he deal with his son, you know, hey, just spoken of in the book of St. John 17, all right, how it gets trickled down from the Father to the Son and to his friends, right? This is the book of John, chapter 3, and verse 19. And this is the condemnation that light is come into the world, right? You know, because the children of the light is here. You know, hey, we have resort back to the truth, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, study to show ourselves approved, so we can rightly divide the word of truth. And now, from the times of Abba Bibbins on now, all right? You know, pertaining to what Matthew 24 and 14, this gospel and truth is going to be preached throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And that's what you got, you know, that it has entered in the gates of the nobles, all right? You know, just a kind of land back in my last lesson, you know, and this the condemnation, you know, that light is come into the world and men love darkness rather than light, right? You know, being that light is out here, you see the prophets out there on the highways and byways, truth is here. To a point where even your celebrities are waking up and saying the same things that the so-called poor broke men on the street corners are saying, which shows you that they listening. Because at the end of the day, you have to come to the source, right? That men, majority of our people, still love darkness rather than the light, man. You know, because the darkness, it shows as if they're winning right now, all right? Because they can prosper in darkness, all right? But what happened when the Lord come and you can't prosper no longer in darkness? Then all you go see these people jump ship. They gonna want to be righteous then. Everybody want to go be holier than thou in that time, you know? And this is the book of St. John 3:19. And this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved, right? You know, you ultimately, it's like a kryptonite, man. You can't see the light. You don't want to see it, you know. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yahweh. You know. This is Jeremiah 8:3. And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, right? Which remain in all the places whether I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts, right? You know, majority of the people is going to choose death rather than life anyway. You know, so we got to be ready to see that. We got to be ready to stomach it, all right? And stand boldly for truth's sake, ultimately. And be the minority in righteousness, man. Be the minority in that for righteousness' sakes, man. Because the majority is going to choose death. Majority is going to choose black culture. Majority go want to stay black, you know. That's why the Lord say the multitude, man. The multitude has to perish, man. I was born in vain. You know, this is the book of John, St. John, chapter 1 and verse 4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended not. There was a man sent from Yahweh whose name was John, you know. And that's the point, you know. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light, right? Like a inauguration, you know, a cosigner, you know, to usher in, kind of like what we doing. You know, we usher in Yahweh Shai in these times. You know, that's what John was doing. From the physical, ultimately, when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, he was the living, walking word, all right? You know, where it's no need for physical baptism, you know? You were blessed by being in his presence, you know, Khan. That was the true light, which lighteth in this verse 9. That was the true light, which lighteth, and that's Yahweh Shai, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not, right? You know? He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, right? Which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of will of man, but of Yahweh, right? You know, from the beginning, you know, the powers, all right? The Alahayim. But the point there is that in him was life, you know, verse 4, and the life was the light of men, you know, because we still dealing with what? The light. You know, light represents the righteousness, you know, darkness represents the wickedness, you know, being void, being black, all right? And we're not black. That's not what the Lord ultimately made us to be. Why they don't call the African black, you know? He's blacker than us. You know, physically. Again, it's a social construct, right, set up to hide the two main identities on the face of the earth, man, which the controversy and this conspiracy is against, all right? Jacob, who later changed his name to Israel, you know, after wrestling with an angel, you know. That's where you get Israelites. Right? The nation of Israel, which is 12 nations within one, you know, 12 tribes within one, right? So we're the ones to be purified and made white. We brought out Daniel 12 and 10, all right? This is the book of Psalms 51. And 7, purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice, right? Because those bones are clinging on together, pertaining to Ezekiel 37. Bone unto his bone, getting the sinews, the muscles, getting the flesh upon them, you know, and ultimately receiving the breath, you know, the breath of life, to where they can see the light. You know, they're no longer filled with darkness. Again, what color is not your physical body, but what color is your spirit? You know, is it black or is it white? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and verse 8. And I'll start closing it up. Let thy garments be always white, and let thy head lack no ointment, man. Right? Let your mind, your la'ab, your head, your heart lack no ointment, no oil, you know, and let your garments be always white, man. Pure, cleanse, right? No spots on it. No spots or blemishing on it, you know? This is the book of Matthew 17 and verse 2. And after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringeth them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them. And that was not a astral projection, Salakia. And his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light, man, right? It was white as the light, man. It's pure, you know. Let's get that etymology. Matthew 17 and 2. All right. His raiment, right, was white, light, bright, brilliant. Brilliant from whiteness. Of those exalted to the splendor of the heavenly state, shining or white garments worn on festive estate. Of white garments, peep this definition, 3. Of white garments as the sign of innocence and purity of the soul. You know, that's just it. You know, that's the point. You know, it's the book of Habakkuk. Chapter 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. You know, and it's ultimately talking, and it's going to go into Esau, how he transgresseth by wine, how this is a melting pot, right? Put on himself a lot of depth amongst these nations throughout the four corners of the earth, and more importantly with the Lord. But the main point in verse 4, what we brought out, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. You know, he's the true black man. You know, he's full of darkness. You know, the just go live by faith. You know, him and 2/3 of our people, and whoever, hey, all that are wicked, you know. Again, we stated before, let the multitude perish that were born in vain, you know. All the bad people perish, you know, die of, you know, of the heathen, and 2/3 of our people pertaining to those who are going to continue to be disobedient of the nation of Israel, you know. So ultimately, shit, black culture, black lives don't matter. You know, that's thus saith the Lord. You know, dark and be voided light, you know, and be full of darkness, being wicked. All right. You ultimately have a judgment in the latter end. All right. And this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also, Salakia, verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith, man. Only the just is going to live by faith, right? And only the just is going to be made white and be purified and be cleansed. All right. Shalom, Habadan, DTA, to the next one.